Welcome to the Wildcast podcast, coming to you from Wildcast Studios with your hosts Adam Lund and Jeremy Boucher.
Hello! Welcome into Wildcast Studios on Rogers TV for another episode of the Wildcast podcast, playoff edition. Your unofficial voice for all things Moncton Wildcats, presented by Alpha's Appliance Solutions, the premier destination for all KitchenAid, Maytag, and Whirlpool appliances in Moncton. Right now, they've got the Gen Air Luxury Redefined event. Save 15% when you purchase any 2 or 3. Save 20% when you purchase any 4 or more qualifying Gen Air products. Qualifying purchases made from now till April 30th. For those and other deals, head to appliancesolutions.ca. As always, fan listeners, with my tips and my chops, I'm your host, Adam Lund, and I'm joined by your favorite co-hoster with his playoff beard, his mullet, and his Stanley Cup. Your favorite co-hoster, Mr. YQM, Mr. Starbucks, Mr. Jeremy Boucher. Our third winter is here. Goddamn
Groundhog was right.
Oh. Yeah.
Shubenacadie Sam is almost got to kick
Shoot
off
him.
Rogers. But, Shubenacadie Sam was right again.
Mm-hmm.
He was right last year with his early spring, and he definitely seems to be on track for his 6 weeks of more winter because this just will not go away.
I'm done. Like driving to, I think it was Thursday. I'm like, this doesn't feel like playoff weather. This feels like I'm heading to the Avenir Center for a game at 7:00 against Quebec. Like this, what are we doing? Baseball started. Playoffs in the CHL have started. Enough of this freezing rain and winter crap.
Give us some flowers. I want to see some flowers blooming.
Right? Like something.
No, it's you knew. I think we were middle of March when it was 10 degrees and there was not any snow left on the ground. You know, we were
driving to Bathurst. There was no snow on the ground.
Yeah, we were getting lucky. We knew there was going to be a little dump here once in a while, and we seem to have got it. But hopefully, this is the end of it.
Please, I'm tired of it. And I don't even have to get up and go to work in this crap, and I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
How's the baby?
Coming along.
Yeah.
Coming along.
He's hanging out. Everything's good.
Yeah, everything's going well.
You made the big purchase?
Yeah, did you get a car seat and stroller? Yeah.
How easy is it to flip? Have you opened it and put it together?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Some people, as soon as they open it, they're like, get it open, test it out, see how easy it is to flip and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I don't even no clue when we'll start to touch that. It's it wasn't even discussed. We brought it home, pushed it into the room, and it's been sitting there ever since.
Okay.
Don't even know when the box is going to be opened, but pretty satisfied with our purchase. I was expecting to pay maybe $500 ish. Got it for $300. You too?
Oh, we paid the $500.
Oh, you paid the $500? Yeah. I don't know. This was regularly $460, and it was on sale for $250, $260 in that area there. So it was of all the ones I had at Walmart, it's had the best reviews. It had better reviews than like Even Flow or is it Greco? Yeah. So this is Baby Trend. I felt like the actual seat itself had more cushion.
Yep.
And just like pregnancy, more cushion for the pushing, and it's that's what the Even Flow one. When you went like that, it felt like you were hitting like concrete. But this one had like almost like a pillowy feel.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt that way. I felt that was kind of the better way to go.
Yeah, we and by we I mean Layla, who's type A. She's very much a planner. To the when she was looking at strollers, she had a spreadsheet. When she's looking at cars, she's got a spreadsheet. She went and bought a discontinued Miley and Coop stroller.
Okay.
Which was discontinued because they've got now a Milo 2 that retails for $1,100.
Oh.
We got ours, I think, for $4 or something, but it come with a bassinet, the car seat, everything. Like
the whole thing.
It's got little attachments. You click in, you can put anything in. Like I'm like walking around Toys R Us, which is not the best place to buy stuff, but
it's true.
I was like,
Pricey.
I'm sorry, how much? This is how much? Like,
yeah.
What?
I went to Toys R Us on Saturday just to browse around.
Yep.
Some of the car seats were like $900. I'm like,
have you seen the car seat that is a car seat, and then when you pull it out, the wheels flop down and it turns into a stroller?
no.
Apparently, they're not by practitioners on TikTok. They're not
Gotta
quite.
believe them.
Yeah. They're not the best for the baby and stuff like that, like seat wise and stuff like that. I'll have to show you off air what it is, but yeah, it literally like it folds up, the wheels tuck right off to the side of it, and then you put the car seat in the car, and then when you pop it out, the wheels tuck out and tuck down.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, we bought that, and then my little daughter Avery, she's got no filter on her, so she just said, "Hey Megan, you and Layla can go on hot mom walks."
Yeah.
I was like, "All right, hot mom walks."
To which I responded to that story from Layla with, "I guess Jeremy and I are going on Dilf walks."
Hot Dad Walks.
Hot Dad Walks.
That's what the podcast is going to be called next year, the Hot Dad Podcast. And
stay tuned for our secret segment, Hot Dad's Podcast.
Yeah, that's going to be on the premium subscription. It's going to be our
yes.
It's going to be our OnlyFans.
Yes. That's how we're getting paid for this.
It's going to be our OnlyFans portion of the podcast is when we start talking about our hot dads.
Yeah. Speaking of baby updates and stuff, Kiva, certified Nickelback fan.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah. No, we were giving her a bath last week. No, earlier this week. So I guess it would have been last week. And it was like, yeah, put some nice music on for her.
Nice.
All right.
Music.
Hey Google, play Nickelback. Played Nickelback. She just sat through it, got her bath, got dressed, everything, sat her down, was playing with her feet, started playing the drums, and she just was in heaven. Amazing. Today.
Love it.
Hey Google, play Nickelback. Laid her on her back, played with her feet, played the drums with her feet, and she just, which is so much better than Nicki Minaj, but yep, certified Nickelback fan. So
start them young.
Yep, absolutely. The Blue Jays. I mean, I said to you before we started this, they're 500. I thought they were 0-4 the way that it seemed like the sky was falling after game one.
Wow. I think the thing that kind of what's I think the thing that sucked about that was game one, was nationally broadcasted on Sportsnet, and they absolutely crapped the bed. And then Friday night it's Apple TV. So like I don't have
only TV. Apple TV.
I don't watch Apple TV. And then Saturday they lost again. So it's like they're on Sportsnet for 2 games and they've lost.
Mm-hmm.
They won. I think they won on.
They won on Sunday.
It was a 4-game series, right?
Yeah.
So they won Friday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the Saturday game they won. So they couldn't. No. What am I talking about? Friday they won.
Yeah. Thursday they lost. Friday they won. Saturday.
Sunday they won.
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday. Yeah. So Friday and Sunday they won.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I'm good.
Yeah.
162-2. Let's go.
Yeah. I saw that. Well, it'd be 160-2.
Yeah.
I saw that Max Scherzer pitched his one game and now he's out. So
Aaron Rodgers, he's gone.
15 DL, collecting his paycheck.
Oh my God. You knew it was going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's a good signing.
I haven't watched the whole game yet. Just even.
That tells you all you need to know, folks.
Yeah.
All you need to know.
I'm not in it right yet. It's hockey season.
Yeah. We still got a really good hockey team.
Yeah.
So
I'll put my Blue Jays attention to the side for now. Hopefully until June 2nd.
Yes. And you can watch it in the delivery room.
Right. I've already mentioned to Eric Murray that if my little boy is a week early, we are going to turn that Ronald McDonald house into a Mem Cup watch party.
Yeah. I wonder if they're putting one in the new section.
Oh, they better.
Yeah, because I was. Yeah.
Or you just walk there.
I just walked there, but I don't know how long of a walk it is.
Same building.
Yeah, but have you tried to walk?
Oh, you just go outside.
Yeah, that's true. We're gonna be there on on April 11th. We get a tour of it.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
The new
because
one?
of Layla's Foundation,
Nice.
stuff like that. We get a tour of the new one. So
Oh, sweet.
I'll be able to update you and our proud sponsor, Eric Murray, on what it looks like.
I think we have an appointment on either with God Lover Dr. Hawkins.
Yeah.
April 10th.
Yeah.
One of the two. Yeah. Maybe they'll be like, oh, you guys want to look at it? I'll be like, oh, I saw it before you guys.
Well, we actually were hoping we were going to get to deliver in it, but they keep pushing it back and back and back. So
yeah,
I'm hoping you guys.
April 10th.
Nice. I'm hoping you guys get to deliver in it.
Yeah.
Because they keep pushing it back.
Yeah.
And back.
Yeah.
And back. But I mean, yeah, if you guys are having a Ronald McDonald Member Cup watch party, that's exciting.
Good time.
Yeah. I was telling you before we started, I don't think I've watched this much WHL and OHL hockey, especially WHL, in about 3 years. I came home after the 2 games, flipped on 3 games on the TVs. Some good hockey going on over there. Good.
What was the upset?
Seattle and Everett.
Yeah, that one.
The first, Everett. I think like Moncton's third period, they had like 17 shots to Seattle's like 2, and couldn't come away with it. I know Prince George came all the way back down 5-2 to win in overtime, 7-6. Medicine Hat continues to roll. Calgary continues to roll. Like all the series shifts now, but and then the OHL, I watched double overtime Kingston Sudbury yesterday. And I said to Jeremy, I can't wait for us to have a double, 3 triple overtime.
Nope.
And what was your response to that?
I'll pull a Craig Eagles and leave after the first. I love the guy, but I think I'd maybe stay for the first overtime. But as soon as that one's done, I'm out the door.
Or you're gonna have a nap on the couches.
There will if there is extended games, there will be a nap for sure on that couch.
Yeah, and then I haven't watched Erie and Saginaw, but good lord, 8-5 and 9-5 wins for Erie in both games. And in the 8-5 one, they scored all 8 in the second period.
Jeez.
It's just,
what's going on?
Like, you're thinking, oh, you're gonna have some good series. All of them are 2-0. Like London got a scare, if London even gets scared yesterday. But Barrie gets going.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Somewhat got going.
Yeah.
They're running into a wall there. That Flores kid in Niagara's a pretty good goalie. So, they just got to keep peppering them. I think they're probably going to win the series now. Yeah. That I didn't exactly feel confident when I made my predictions last week, but I'm feeling a little better now.
I'm trying to figure out who I took in that Erie series with them being up 0-2. I was like, I know we split a couple of them, and that was one of the ones that we split. So, but yeah, I mean, I love having the CHL package and time zones for the win, and not working, but time zones for the win, because you can catch these games.
Not these 11:05 starts though.
Oh yeah, no, I don't do the 8 o'clock starts. Absolutely not. Calgary on Sunday, 2 o'clock, perfect. 5 o'clock our time, absolutely. 8 p.m. starts in the dub. I can wake up and watch that one later.
I'll save my WHL watching for the Memorial Cup.
Yeah, when it's closer, when it's in our time zone. Oh, perfect. As always, friend listeners, don't forget you can follow us on the social medias: Twitter, Moncton Wildcast, Instagram, Wildcast Podcast, TikTok, Wildcast Podcast, as well on YouTube. Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button. Lets us know you like what we're doing. Click that bell so you don't miss any of our playoff podcast post games, and might be a watch party. Game 3. Stay tuned at the end. Might be. I don't know. But yeah. That's up to that. Quick question, sir. We've got a few series coming home 0-2. So which one of these 4 teams have the best chance to turn this thing around and, I don't want to say win it, but at least push it to 6 or 7? Bathurst, Cape Breton, Gatineau, or Val-d'Or?
I mean, I want to say Bathurst, just based on what we've seen from them this season. They've done everything they could possibly do right in the first 2 games of this series against Chicoutimi. Just haven't got the bounces.
Yeah.
The bounces are going to come whether it be on home ice or just in general. I don't know if they have what it takes to win the next 4 of 5.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say Bathurst. Cape Breton.
That's the one I like. That's the one that
I
think...
like it, but at the same time, they've yet to take advantage of Baie-Comeau being without Justin Poirier, Alexis Bernier, and Alexis Michaud.
Yeah.
Those are 2 top forwards and their best defensemen. If you can't take advantage of that, you're not going to win 4 of the next 5. They got to put the pedal to the metal here. I said, I think I said, I think I said earlier when we were getting kind of excited for the series, I thought I said home ice advantage might be a disadvantage in the series. I expected Cape Breton to go in there and steal, not necessarily steal one, but take one at least, and then come home with a split with the next 3. They're going to have to win. They're going to have to win these 3.
Yeah.
If they want any opportunity to win the series, they're going to have to win all 3.
And that's the team that I would pick. Gatineau may get 1. Val-d'Or can get back in this series. Bathurst, I would like to see them get back in the series, but as we talked about before the show, ticket sales, having no crowd.
Wow. $9
tickets.
And they will be lucky to have 1,500 people in that building. It's
and if they came home 2-0, they might have something more.
Yeah.
But
it's sad.
But that's why I would pick Cape Breton. I was looking at their stats. They're averaging about 37 shots a game. They're out playing Baie-Comeau. They're trying to take advantage, but Beckman, which you and Drew Bear were talking about, he has the ability to steal the series. He's been the better of the 2 goaltenders in Cournoyer. I think they go back to Malota in game 3.
That would be something.
If it was me, I would probably just try to change it up a bit. You're out shooting them and they're getting goals past you.
Yeah.
Not that it's always Cournoyer's fault or always the goaltender's fault, and then Skogan Schrott just out of nowhere.
My guy.
Just out of nowhere for them. But I think we've seen the home ice that Cape Breton had last year.
Yeah.
And the unofficials are selling tickets now.
They're doing content with the team.
Yeah.
It's a good little relationship, and you know that Brink is going to be loud. Haven't checked to see what
that's just where I was
their
going.
Sales are looking like. But obviously, I think if they had won a game or 2 in Baie-Comeau, you'd probably be looking at some better crowds. But you got to get behind this team. There's if they're out by the weekend, that's an extremely disappointing season, and get the pink slips ready. Because there's going to be some changes in that organization.
Well, we already know there's going to be changes team-wise and what some of the moves are going to make. But yeah,
you're looking at maybe a new head coach coming in next season, a new GM. I hate to say it, but I think some of those players on the Eagles are already looking forward to signing that AHL contract after the season.
They're actually their game 3 is pretty full.
Yep, I was just looking at that.
Yeah, their bottom is pretty full, and their top, it looks like they probably just started to release their top tickets. So that building's going to be decently full, and they're selling their noisemakers at 25% off. So that to me is a series that, like I said, I was the most excited to see this series. Cape Breton can rip off at least 2 and tie this thing. And then game 5 is that ultimate, which way is the series going to go? And if they get all 3, you got to think they can get at least 1.
Some mo on their side. Yeah, no, for sure. You're right. It looks like it's going to be a nice little atmosphere at the Center 200. So before our game starts at 8 p.m., I'll probably tune into that one.
Catch that one for an hour.
7 p.m. start.
And the game 4 looks almost the same.
Yep.
So, I would assume if they get game 3, you might see some walk-ups for a little bit more. And and I think home ice will be very big in this series. You saw those. What did the Eagles say up in the booth when you were listening? Sounded like Chicoutimi with all those horns and everything like that is a loud environment in Baie-Comeau. So that's what I would think. We're going to get into the rest of the series here in just a little second.
News and notes from around the Q.
News and notes from around the Q presented by Integrity Lawn Care. Again, we're in our third winter, so at some point I'm going to read this off, and you're going to want to do some lawn care. But if you want to get ahead of the game, check them out on Instagram. Give them a call, 506-866-8218, or email them at integritylawnCare@hotmail.com. Some suspensions handed out in our series. Loic Goyette and Simon Binkley were each given a game, so they'll miss game 3 for their role in fighting in the final 5 minutes of game 2. In that one, I'm shocked that there was only 2 penalties given out, like that we're not seeing more of come out of this fracas. I mean, Hines could have been given something for third man in. Now, I'm not saying they would have been suspended, but you go back and watch that with everything that was going on.
It was the only fight.
Yeah, that's true.
If you want to call it that.
Yeah.
If you want to call the Bukarchuk and Straka a fight, then that's a different story.
Yeah.
Wasn't a fight to me, but it was more of a wrestling grapple match.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think Binkley got his gloves off. No. And watching the replay, you see the Goyette headlock him as he takes him down, and he's punching, I'm assuming, his helmet. Like, it didn't even look like he was punching him in the face. Yeah,
there could be, I know it's a little, I doubt we see anything additional before puck drop here on Tuesday night. But, we've been big fans of Binkley. Yeah. He's, every time he's on the ice, he's doing something.
Scored. Which we'll get to in a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. If the buddy ref wouldn't have blew the whistle so friggin' quick.
Yeah.
But Loic Goyette, you could say he's he's been on their fourth line just like Binkley, but depth, it seems like it's a good trade-off, but you never want to say that. But Goyette's a 3-year veteran, and Binkley, he's only been around for a couple months. Yeah. So you could say, you can make the argument it's a good trade-off for Moncton. But at the end of the day, both guys have been playing on the fourth line. So yeah, it's not, it's not like Justin Cote was fighting Simon Binkley here.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, that's a huge win. But yeah, no, Langell, what are you doing? Like, I'm not going to go into everything on the officials for the weekend because it wasn't their fault on why we almost didn't get wins and stuff, but he had a chance to stop a lot of that. He lets Hines skate right in to, I think at that point it was Lounsbury, that both of them were just ragdolling and he's standing there. He lets Deneau skate right past him into the middle of the ice to try and call out Guimond or whatever. So then as he skates back, he shoves Lounsbury because he's going back to his net to get his water bottle. Like, if a goaltender's coming towards that, you just stop it. I'll give Hopkins a pass. At least he was in there with his arms like this trying to stop guys. But Langell just and even Marty said on the broadcast, like, there's a couple things going on. What are the officials doing? Because the linesmen are quite busy with the other things that were going on. So it's like, I get that as a ref, your linesmen are supposed to take care of that stuff, but you had an opportunity to stop that because Deneau pushes Lounsbury. He shoves him back, probably not knowing it was a goaltender, probably thinking it was just a player, and 2 players instantly come right at him, and then Hopkins or Langell does his job. Like, yeah, that's what bugged me about it. And that's why I thought we might see a little bit more of like 2 minutes for roughing, 2 minutes for roughing, 2 minutes, which, I mean, if they're going to give all 5 guys 2 minutes for roughing, what's the point? It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect anything. So
I don't think we'll see any more discipline. No. I mean,
if might see a rejection from discipline again.
Could be, possibly. Those are back, and the warm up fines. I love those. Those are my favorite. Speaking of warm up, DJ Psychedelics, playoff mix, love it. Absolutely killed it. Threw in some bangers from the early 2000s in there, and some new new hits as well. So I've already downloaded it on my phone, and I think I listen to it every day. So.
Nice. A little sad he didn't play Saturday night. Saturday night's all right for fighting. I think that would have been a perfect song. But hey, you give some, you take some. I'm just glad he changed the warm up because I didn't want to listen to that for another couple months. I guess we'll look through the series.
Mm-hmm.
Not go into great depth or anything like that. We have one series at 1-1. The other series being at 2-0, which I didn't think we'd have. I thought we'd have a lot more splits based on some of these matchups. I think the one that a lot of people are talking about is Halifax coming home 2-0. And I will give them full credit for what they're doing. But on the same token, Riley Mercer is out. So they're taking full advantage of what they're given, and Drummondville hasn't been able to get a lot past Steinman, and we said Steinman was good enough to steal a couple games, but
he's done that already.
Man, they have a chance to do something pretty spectacular.
Yeah, it's I mean the first game, I think it was all Drummondville. It was all Drummondville till about 10 minutes left in the third period. And then, Kalen Blake's on a breakaway and he gets cross-checked from behind. And
what are you doing?
Yeah, it goes right into Mercer. And absolutely no fault of Kalen Blake whatsoever.
No.
And next thing you know, Riley Mercer's on the ice and he can barely stand up. And that could very well be maybe a turning point of the playoffs or the series. I mean, right after that, Shaw goes in nets for Drummondville. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
It was, I think, 3 goals in 4 minutes for Halifax to take a 3-2 lead, and they held down at game 1, killed a huge penalty at the end of game 1 to preserve the victory. And then they go in next night. And, they get that early goal in the third period, held on to it until the final minute. And then Sam Oliver ties it. The goals get called back.
Mm-hmm.
And then 10 seconds later, Sam Oliver scores again, which counts. This one counts. And then it goes in OT. And, Brunet, as much as I hate the penalty, the puck over glass puts Halifax on a power play in game 2. And Kilfoyle redirects.
And he knew it too. I felt like you feel bad for the kid just sitting in the penalty box with his head over. Like that's the worst penalty to take. Because you can't argue any type of judgment. From that call.
Can't argue it. Can't say nothing. And Kilfoyle, perfect place, redirects a point shot, and they're going home they're going up to go home 2-0, and it's the next 3 in Halifax. I mean, they are in the driver's seat.
And that building, if they were coming down 0-2, was going to have 8,500 people.
Yeah.
And be juiced up for the playoffs. But now you look at the fact that they're up 2-0.
Yep.
And they're doing, Drummondville almost had 50 shots in game 2, 40 shots in game 1. Like, it's literally just backup goaltending. Mm-hmm. That is kind of sinking Drummondville. And you could tell that Drummondville was, I think, a shock factor. Yep. And that's why game 1, Halifax was able to ride the momentum 1-2-3. And I think, this series could easily be 1-1 coming home. Halifax would still feel just as good. But, you have to play the guys that are in front of you. And I think just the fourth line or third line defenseman, I don't know what you were doing, and it's a 39-point difference, and this could come back. And by the time we talk about it next time, it's a 4-2 Drummondville win, right? Like
you're already
they're that good.
Looking at Tuesday night in Halifax, you're looking probably already at 75 to 8,000 people.
Yeah,
based on Ticketmaster right now, so it's going to be loud. It's going to be tough to pick a game to watch, from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Tuesday, but might have to do a little flip-flopping and channel surfing, but it's
3 TVs for the win.
Yeah. It's going to be, it's Nova Scotia hockey, man. It's tomorrow night in Halifax and in Sydney. It's going to be, both barns are going to be jumping.
Yeah. And, are you surprised Shawinigan's up 2-0 on Val-d'Or?
Very.
Yeah.
Very. Val-d'Or was one of the hottest teams in the league in the second half. talk about last week with Philippe Veilleux, and probably like 75% of his points in the second half. And that first line just can't get it going. Schwinnigan shutting them down, and they're doing a good job. It's I was expecting at least a split in that one. And I actually thought Valdo was going to win the series, so I don't know if that's still the case.
Do they got 3 at home or they got 2? They have 3. Yeah, that's the 3. Yeah, I picked Schwinnigan just because they've had a decent end to the season. They're kind of hitting their stride. But I thought honestly we'd see 6 of the 8 series have splits. I thought Moncton and Rimouski were going to be the only 2 series at 2-0. Rimouski looks like they're okay without LaSalle right now, which is a little scary. But he's going to be able to get some rest.
Yeah.
And by when I say that, I don't mean rest because they're playing an opponent in the 7th seed. Like, I think he's legitimately injured, but he's also being able to rest, which is good. But I thought we'd see more splits in this thing. The only one we have right now is Blainville and Sherbrooke. And, I felt real good about my 4-0. Now, the way Felberg's playing, going home to the complete opposite of what you had in Blainville, where Sherbrooke's going to have some fans in the building. I could see Sherbrooke coming back 3-1, going back to Blainville.
Yeah. It's. I was actually surprised that first game was a bit of attendance was god awful. I mean, the Habs were playing that night, Laval Rocket were playing that night, and then so you're already fighting. You're fighting at the gate with 2, like a 2-headed monster, right? You're most considering how big hockey fans are in Quebec. You're not going to go to a Q game if there's
pro hockey.
If there's pro hockey on, it's just a tough matchup, and it's made a little. That's why maybe it's a little silly they started on the Thursday night.
Yeah,
don't know if there's anything going on in Blainville on that Friday night that kind of prevented that game from being played.
No, because they played Friday, so there might have been something on the Saturday.
True,
like a lot of the Q tournaments or things like that that could have been going, but.
Yeah, no,
I think the big thing in that series is Blainville went from the number 1 power play at 33%, and right now they're only 1 for 8.
Yeah, that's
like,
a big
where's
difference.
their power play gone, right? So, but Gradine got 5 points in 2 games.
My rookie of the year. Yeah, and probably won't win it because it's going to be William Massell. But it took him. Had no idea he was still considered a rookie.
You think it'll be LaSalle?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I figure the last time a goalie won the rookie of the year.
Isn't it the first year where it's being called
Sidney Crosby
Trophy? Where did he play?
Oh yeah. Who's hosting? Yeah.
Politics. There's no politics.
Who got to be a goalie of the year because somebody's goalie stats didn't count? Yeah. Good call. Yeah, I'm excited to see the series shifts the other barns and see if teams can get back in this. I really hope we don't get 7 4-0s and one like 4-2 kind of series.
There's no way Halifax is sweeping Drummondville.
No.
Like that's, there's, I hate to say it, but Moncton's due for a loss.
Yeah. Bacomo will likely probably not sweep. So I just, you think the matchups are going to be great going into it. And then you come out and you got all these sweeps and you're like, all right, I guess we'll just wait till round 2 and go from there. Well, I guess speaking of our team,
that's what we're here for.
Weekly Rewind.
All right, the Wildcats take a 2-0 series lead in their best of 7 with Quebec Rempart as the series now shifts to Quebec for the next 2, 3 if needed. Friday, bit of a weird one for me. Wildcats controlled most of the play, but I think the momentum changed in this game when Pekarchuk went out in the fight. And they found out, like I said to you and everybody that would listen, they found out they're in a playoff series because they let the underdog team hang around long enough. And sure enough, they pushed them all the way to overtime until then we made an unbelievable play to seal that thing. But you let this is going to sound bad. You let a bad team hang around long enough, and Quebec's not a bad team, just standings wise. They're going to push you, and they're going to make you make mistakes. And that's exactly what Quebec did in game 1 is they push them as much as they could. And
Mhm.
as much as Moncton controlled it, I thought Quebec was very, very good.
They were very good. They came out physical from the hop. You know, I think they laid a solid body check every minute for the first.
Oh, there was no flybys.
Yeah, there for the first 5. Like it was, they were hitting everything in sight, trying to get Moncton off their game, and it worked. Like there was a point where I was like, geez, like Gardner McDougall's being out coached right now.
Mhm.
You know, like they were putting it to Moncton, making sure Moncton earns it. And I think it just comes back to the, you know, the parity in the league is that you take a night off and it's going to come back to bite in the butt. And it almost did, you know, it really almost did, where, you know, it was overtime games can go either way, you know, and
Yeah, we could be 1-1 right now.
we very well could be. And that would be, again, they're due for a loss. I wouldn't mind a loss in the first round. I think I would take any other game but game 1.
Yeah.
You know, but at this point, like they are due for a loss. And I don't want them to go into round 2 on a 20-game winning streak.
Well, it'd be a 4. We're not going to talk about the regular season, but technically, yeah, it'd be a 19-game winning streak.
Yeah, like I don't want that to happen.
Yeah,
but if it does, it does. You got to deal with it.
Yeah,
they're going to lose eventually. But I
we
was
assume.
Yeah, not going to go 16-0.
They're not.
It's Quebec was they caught me by surprise. I think they caught a lot of people by surprise.
Yeah,
but I think it's good in terms of, you know, these players who last year that were around kind of got pushed around by Chicoutimi.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and correct me if I'm wrong, like Friday night was the first playoff win at the Avenir Center
since Game 7
against Baie-Comeau.
Because they won the first one in Halifax, and then Halifax swept them.
Yeah, and
then they got swept last year.
Yeah,
that's the first win since Barbyshev's double overtime.
Yeah, like that is absurd.
Yeah,
that's crazy to think about it.
Yeah,
and I think there's always, you know, these little mind games when it comes to playoffs, and that very well could have been in the back of their mind. Get that playoff, you know, monkey off their back kind of thing when it comes to wins, and
quit bringing trophies
before
the playoffs.
That too.
That's literally what you asked for.
Yeah, I didn't like that, and I didn't want to see those.
I did like that it was just the GM and Mr. Irving.
Yeah, no players involved.
Players, like bring out the captains and the assistants.
No, and they didn't. Like Taylor didn't come close to touching it. Mr. Irving didn't come close to touching it.
Thank God.
So it was that was kind of the whole trophy thing was silly.
And it's a league thing. Like
it is a league thing.
Fauchon had his, LaSalle had his. Like it's a league thing to recognize then. But just pop up a graphic.
Yeah. And look, they got through it. They got the overtime win. It was a lot closer than people thought. But then you move into Saturday and it's scoreless after 40 minutes. And you're like, oh man, not again.
Well, I think too, like game 1, and I was talking to friend of the show, Julian Robichaud, and OJ's dad. If you could bet legally on the Q, Jeremy and I would have a retirement plan because of every player that comes back is going to put the puck in the net.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I think that too is what kind of got in their mind a little bit too. Like it's 2-1. And then all of a sudden there's a terrible turnover and OJ snipes it. Nothing Rousseau could do. Cote on the power play, off the back glass, off the net, off his shoulder. Like that's karma and puck luck. And, you know, you go back and listen to our previews, OJ and Cote had to be involved in this offense. Mm-hmm. So now all of a sudden Moncton's on their heels. They survive game 1. They go into game 2 almost scared, like almost not sure. Like game 1, I said to you before we did the post game, that was the best case scenario is they got pushed to the edge and got a victory. And then in game 2, I don't want to say they played scared, but it felt almost tentative.
Yeah, they were not
in the first 40 minutes.
Again, it was like it almost seemed like Gardner was being outcoached. It was Quebec was dictating the play.
Mhm.
That's the first time in a while. I think Moncton's been, dominated in the shot clock through 40 minutes. It's been a while.
Down the choir.
Yeah, it's been they were just not getting shots through. But something was said in that dressing room in the second intermission that put it like it was.
Yeah, there we go.
They woke up.
Got that in my notes.
The light bulb came up. The light bulb
Yeah.
moment. What do you got?
I just said like the Wildcats were flat. They're bailed out by Guimond.
Yeah.
But like I said a couple times up in the booth, Gardner's peeling paint in that room right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, he doesn't seem like a screaming type of guy, but he just seems like, I feel like what happened is they went into the room and the coach didn't even walk in. Like now that I think about it, I guarantee Gardner, I don't guarantee, I would assume Gardner didn't go in. He didn't say anything. He didn't berate them like I thought he would have. Friesen didn't go in. Tessier, none of them went in. They let the players talk about it. And the McKinnons and the Vidiceks and the Morans were like, because every time we've talked to him, to a man, they've said, like, we didn't play our game. We have to play our way next night, blah, blah, blah. They probably were in that locker room holding themselves accountable. And then Gardner come in with his mind-melting words. And, 22 shots in the third period was just, like, they were like, cool, we're done now. Like, we've let you hang around. We're done now. I thought maybe he went in and ripped it, but I think I more think that they left it alone and they let the McKinnons, the Vidiceks, the Gills, the Morans hold each other accountable.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me because it was a different breed. Like they were not the same team. That was the Wildcats that we were expecting in the playoffs. So they play like if they go into Quebec and play game 3 the way they played in the third period of game 2, Quebec doesn't have much of a chance.
Mm-hmm.
If they play every period like that for Tuesday night and Wednesday night, it's over in 4. But if they go back and start playing like they did Monday and Tuesday, we're probably seeing a loss, and we're probably playing Friday night. And that was when we talked to Morin. He said, death by 1,000 cuts. By the way, that's a great Taylor Swift song.
Wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah. Underrated Taylor Swift song, by the way. Yeah. It just doesn't matter. They doesn't matter how do you put them away.
Mm-hmm.
Put them away.
Yeah. Not everything's going to be one shot in the head. And
they're an arsenal. Their attack, it's an arsenal. Is that I'm a little French here. I can't put my word into a phrase, but they've got an attack, and when they come at you, they can hurt you in many, many ways.
Yeah.
And that's they've got to do this in game 3 and game 4 is put them away, rest up for what could be a much longer second round.
Just rest up in general. Just get some rest. Like going 7 and then having to turn around the next Friday at home. Like, yes, you don't have to travel this time, but it's just, And look, we can make it all about Moncton, Quebec. Like we've tried to say, they played very well. I don't know how many shots Deneau stopped just from being 8'4".
Mm-hmm.
Is he actually 6'8"? Like the game 1 before it got tied or before Auger scored, Vidicek had a beautiful pass, I think from Grenier, right in the slot, just tips it. But because Deneau's so big, he gets it.
Yeah.
And, they score there at 3-1. We're not as worried going into overtime. You know what I mean? So they've done well. They did a good job to shut down Cote and Auger in game 2. The fact that they took no penalties in game 2 was nice to see. They scored a power play goal with one of the best sellies. Ken, when you're a refs point at the goal. The other guy, I think is Mike Cormier, was the linesman. He's not pointing at the goal. Ken, don't turn around at the crowd. Point at the goal, man. Like, point at the goal. But it still was a great celebration. But what I did like, and I said to you right away, the game 1 first power play, they got a bumper.
Mhm.
Vida checks in the bumper, and everything's going. They put Moran out there, but everything's going through Denway into that bumper, and they didn't have a chance to use it in game 1 because I think there was a Collard got the butt end penalty that negated that. But in game 2, they used it, and they used it effectively. So they're using something different than what we saw regular season, which is nice. But I think you're right. I think Quebec has a chance to get tonight's game. Game 3, I think they've seen Moncton now twice. If Moncton can get game 3, I think it's over in 4. I don't think they'll win game 4. But I think Quebec has a chance to get at least this game, the first one on home ice.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't bother me. That's
no.
Like it was, I think I'd rather lose a game in round 1 than round 2.
Yeah.
It's just nothing against Quebec, but
mentally,
I'm not
generally the team.
Like I said, Moncton in 5. I'm not someone to pick sweeps.
Yeah.
For that reason, I need to see a loss and need to see how they rebound from it, considering they haven't tasted defeat in a month and a half now. So it was the game in Charlottetown on the road. Was their last loss.
February 13th.
Yeah. So it's a month and a half.
Yeah.
So it's they're due.
Yeah, February 8th would have been the last loss. So
okay.
Yeah. In Charlottetown, because then the 13th they won against Shawinigan. I mean, I'm sure people are probably waiting for this question, Jeremy. Game 3 starter.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think it surprised a lot of people that it was Russo and then Guimond. And Russo was good in game 1. The shot that beat him was a shot that not many goalies would have stopped. Like, it was off OJ's stick quick, and we know how OJ can shoot.
Yeah.
The first goal, 24, was caught flat-footed, and he let him get inside, and he went up top. Third goal was luck of all lucks that goes off the glass, off the net, off his shoulder, in the net. And then he was good for the rest of the way out. Guimond was very good in allowing Moncton to stay in this one and keep it 0-0 in game 2 while we were pretty flat. I think it'll be Russo. I think they're rotating 1-1-1-1. We've always said a win keeps you in. They went to a different goaltender. A shutout keeps you in for sure. So I don't know who they go with. I think everyone's got confidence in both, but I don't know which way it goes or if it says anything about the goaltending, no matter which way they go. They both got a split. They both played well, but does it say anything if you pick a guy in game 3?
No, I mean, look, I have confidence in both goalies.
Yep.
I'm sure whoever I say, it's going to be the other guy. That's just the way it goes. But no, if they are rotating, then it's Russo.
Yeah.
And you're right. He did not play bad. It was just defensive breakdowns, right? Forte Gendron got beat.
Yep.
Then it was a turnover. Then it was a lucky shot. Like, I don't think there's anything that Russo could have done.
Well, I mean, OJ's shot was as fast as Gabe's shot to tie the game, and you saw how quickly that went. Like, that caught to through the 5-hole. Like, it was the same type of shot. So you can't blame Russo on that. And
it's so again, it's just I don't care. I don't care who starts. It's not. I'm not going to go and write a 1,000 word essay on why I think Rousseau starts. I'm not going to go and write a 1,000 word essay why I think Guimond should start. You put whoever you want in that net, and we're going to get a solid effort.
And that's where I'm at. And I don't think the game 3 starter means anything moving forward. I think they're very comfortable, and the team is very comfortable going 1-1-1-1. It's not very often, and I heard this last year with the Oilers. It's not very often a goaltender plays 25, 26 games in a row. Your backup is going to get in. And so could Russo or Guimond play all the games? Sure. But it's also not too bad to have them getting some rest so you're not wearing them out. And I think both teams, or I think both goalies have the ability to do what they did. And I'm sure both goalies, when they get in, don't want to be the first one to look up on the scoreboard and have a smaller number. And I think that's a hell of a plan.
Yeah.
Okay. Both goalies are pushing each other so that they're not the goaltender in the net when they get the first loss.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a better series than I thought it was going to be.
I wasn't expecting a blowout.
No, I wasn't
They would
expecting
be
8-9-1, but Quebec has been, I don't want to say more competitive than they thought they'd be, but they're pushing Moncton more than I thought they would.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's what you want. You want to be challenged. You look at Rimouski, who have, handled Charlottetown pretty easily.
18 goals in 2 games. Yeah.
Like they're going to get a wake up call here in the second round.
Yeah.
If a team like Chicoutimi, comes out and surprises them, right? Like that's like the one thing you don't want in the playoffs is to have all your games in the first round be blowouts because you feel too confident. It's good to have tight games. It's challenging them, mentally because every team wants to take down the big dog, right? It's challenging them mentally right now to stay focused and not look past these games and look at the other rounds. You got to stay focused that you're on your games here because it's not going to be easy. It doesn't matter who you're playing. It's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be an easy second round. Not going to be easy third round. It's every game is going to be difficult from here on out.
Yep. And like I said, they're getting pushed, and best case scenarios they get pushed, but they get a W, and that's what matters right now. It only makes you stronger. And to any of those wondering, well, Kelly Clarkson, never a bad thing. For those that are wondering, if Halifax does upset Drummondville, they do not come back into the Eastern. Like they do not play us. They stay in that conference. They would play Rouen, Shawinigan, the highest seed. I saw a couple of people like, oh, if they upset, then we get to see Steinman against No. They're over there for now. So the only way we see him
is Final Four.
So again, be very interesting to see how that series shifts home. So I think that's good. Yep. All right. Everyone, anything else on the games that you got?
No, I mean, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's want to see a loss. If we don't see it, we don't see it.
It's not the worst thing.
It's not the end of the world. I think if they play like they did in the third period of game 2, we're going to be resting up for a week and a half.
Yep.
Eric Murray, Realtor. Buy a house from him. Stick tap of the week.
A quick show.
Yeah.
A little bit of a
quick. Yeah.
All right. So the stick tap of the week, first one of the playoffs, of course. It's going to the fans, and I'll kind of explain why. We were around last year in those despicable crowds for those 2 home games against Chicoutimi, 2,500 if we were lucky, to show up Friday night to 5,000 people was amazing. Show up Saturday to almost 5,800 people was incredible. That 5,800 people in the building on Saturday night was the largest playoff crowd since Game 7 against Halifax in 2015.
Wow.
Yep. It is the 4th largest first round crowd in team history, and the highest attended non-finals game 2 in team history.
Wow. Just setting franchise records everywhere.
Another one here. This is courtesy of some guy named David McKnighted. Only one game, which was game 5 against Halifax in 2006. In the first, second, and third rounds of the 2006 and 2020 championship years, had a higher attendance than Saturday.
Total?
Yeah.
Like regular season?
Playoffs.
In 2020, we didn't have playoffs.
No, so only one game
Mhm.
in the first, second, and third rounds of the 2006 and 2010 championship years
Yeah.
had a higher attendance this Saturday.
Huh.
So,
yeah, I went back and looked real quick on the attendance last year.
mhm,
Total of the two games was 6,800 people.
brutal.
Average 3,400.
Brutal.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
100%.
That's what we need. That's what playoff hockey is. It was a different vibe. There was a tremendous atmosphere in there. The people were loud. They were. This building, this city has been waiting for a team like this since a Coliseum.
Yeah.
You know, this is the year to do it. And if we can get 5,800 people in that building for the first round, that's the standard.
Yeah.
Right?
Can't go down now.
Can't go down. You got to go up. You're probably looking at, again, I'm looking ahead here just because I'm feeling confident.
Mhm.
You're looking at that second round starting
April 11th.
April 11th because the St. Lunatics are in town on the 12th.
Yeah. They've got a Friday, Sunday problem.
Yeah. Andale, mama, yeah. Oh.
Air Force Ones. If
Um,
anyone has free tickets,
yeah.
they want to give us.
Yes. If anybody wants to
Yeah.
give us tickets to that Nelly show on April 12th, we will gladly take them because I will put a Band-Aid on my face.
100%. I've got the early 2000s hair, so
Yeah.
I'm ready.
So if anybody's willing, if anybody has 2 tickets that don't need them, we will gladly take those off your hands. So again, looking ahead, we're probably looking at April 11th, Friday night, and possibly a Sunday afternoonish game on the 13th. As soon as those tickets are on sale, they should be flying off the shelves.
The only worry I have on those when you sweep a team and you got to wait is like maybe the anticipation isn't there. Whereas if it was game 6, they win, and then you're playing Friday, you may have it. I also went back and looked in the 4 games against Baie-Comeau, 3,200 people.
It's so stupid.
So, and that our 5,000 was without season ticket holders having the first round free, which is what I've always said they would do so that the corporations could continue to have their first rounds. And I said last week, I'd be lucky 25 to 3,000 when you're looking at it. Like I just didn't believe in the walk-up fan base.
I think the hype is real.
Yeah.
You see those banners.
Oh,
you drive by those.
Amazing.
Those are so effing sick.
Yeah.
I don't know how much one of those cost, but when there's 4 of them,
5 of them,
5 of them hanging from the building. Hopefully, it was like a buy 4 get 1 free deal. Unbelievable. It's a different feeling.
And the blackout theme actually worked. Now maybe the -4 degree weather helped because everyone was wearing their coats, but it seems like it actually worked.
Yep.
So now let's make noisemakers, blackout and noisemakers on sale.
Got to do it. The Cape Breton's doing, or bring your own friggin' noisemakers.
Bring your own first of all.
You take a 2-liter bottle of pop.
Yeah.
You throw a couple dimes in there.
Yeah.
And do.
That's what I did the very first, and one of the posts I shared that, people thought that noisemakers were on sale because they didn't read the part that said, this is an old post, not a new sale. Anyways, I took a pop bottle like this, jammed her full of nickels and dimes and pennies and whatever extra coins I found in the house. That thing worked mint.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll donate our flag to someone to wave around. And I think I have 2 flags, actually, a white one and a black one. But if somebody wants the black one that I trust, I'll give it, if we allow flags in there, flags, noisemakers, you see Chicoutimi with the towels?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it, our atmosphere is now up to par with those games. Not quite the horns and Baie-Comeau, but our atmosphere was a big reason why this team came back in overtime.
Yeah.
If there was 3,200, 3,500 people in there,
different outcome.
This series is split.
Yep. It's the seventh player in the playoffs is a huge factor, and I don't care. As soon as that second round, as soon as you know your dates, again, I know I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah. And if I'm still here next Monday night talking about this series, would we even be at the rink on Monday night?
Yeah, we will.
No, fuck. Frick.
We're talking about it on Tuesday night.
Yeah. If we're still talking about this series on Tuesday night, I'll eat crow. But it should be wrapped up by Friday night.
Yeah.
They need the rest. Get the job done.
The Stick Tap of the Week, sponsored by Eric Murray Real Estate with the RE/MAX Avante team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Greater Moncton or surrounding area, make sure to check him out on social media or give him a call at 506-863-8802.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like, Quebec's goal is to get back to Moncton, and Moncton's goal is to come back alone.
Yeah,
that's exactly what our goal should be. That brings us to the Wildcat of the Week, presented by Rosemary, Lynns Massage and Spa. Teeth whitening is now available. Booking starts at $85. If you want another extra 15-minute session, it's only $20. Your $85 includes 3 15-minute sessions. Don't forget they have the loyalty card. Buy 9 spa services, get 1 free. Call them at 506-830-1224 or stop in at 1224 Mountain Road as they're accepting new clients. Should let Nicole know that she should have a manicure special with black nails for all Wildcats fans.
Amen.
That's what you should have, Nicole. This is not a deal. What she should have is manicure. You get the black nails for all Wildcat fans. But yeah, I mean, you're an overtime hero in the playoffs. You're going to be on here. And I think he's had an absolutely excellent start to this series with 3 goals in 2 games. Scored the OT winner. Scored a beautiful, as he said in the postgame, he doesn't take many slap shots and absolutely ripped it top shelf on Dano. So it was pretty much an easy choice. Your Wildcat of the Week for the playoffs is number 26, Julius Sump Pump. That'll do it for this week. If you're looking to join us for the watch party, we will be live on our YouTube for Game 3 tonight at 8:00. I'll have that link later on our Instagram. And if you want to go watch it with some other fans, head down to the Sports Rock North location only. The Wildcats are doing the watch party at the North locations for Games 3 and 4 and 5 if needed. We are taking the year off because I'm only allowed to go to actual games, let alone the other ones. So, but yeah, hopefully by the time you hear this show, nope, never mind. It's coming out tonight. Never mind. We're good. Hopefully we're not back here next week talking about this series. For Jeremy, I'm Adam. See you next week.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wildcast podcast. Follow us on social media at Moncton Wildcast.